All right, let's just go ahead and get it started. I'm a knife nerd, guys. What's up? Been gone for a while. I know that, and I I'm sorry. It's crazy though. I mean, obviously, we all work. We all have daily lives. Well, most of us do. But things have just gotten really crazy. For a couple weeks, the whole family got sick, and then I'll just start it off real quick. So about 2 months ago, well, last year I helped assistant coach for my daughter's softball team, and the head coach. I mean, to make a long story short, basically was not a good role model. We'll just leave it at that. I don't feel the need to call anybody out publicly, but it just wasn't a good environment to the point that out of the 11 girls, 4 will probably never play the sport again. And after talking with a couple of the parents, well, actually 7 of the girls asked if they could play for me if I would take over as head coach for them. And it's, even if it's your plan or not, when 7 10-year-olds ask you to be their head coach, it's kind of hard to say no to that. So I agreed. I said, you guys go to the sign-ups, and you guys can request me, and if they can put enough players on a team to give me a team, then I'd be honored to be your guys' coach. And lo and behold, they made it happen. And we have 13 girls on the team now, and we're running practices as often as possible. Of the 13 girls, I think maybe 5 or 6 have played before, and the rest of them are all new. So it's been trying. It's been a second and a third job on top of the 50 hours that I currently work for King's Toyota. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's stressful. It's aggravating. It's beautiful, and it's rewarding, and it's everything. It's a lot of fun being with these girls and seeing that light bulb go off when they finally figure out what you've been trying to explain to them. It's cool. It's humbling. It's a lot of fun. But because of that, it has taken away from my ability to really be able to sit down and make a video. And I know that we did part 1 of my collection, and I just kind of left you guys hanging. And what's weird is I think we had like 54 subscribers the last video I did, and all of a sudden I've got like 70 something, and it's just like it's crazy. You step away and people just keep joining, and it's really awesome. And I thank you all the new people. Welcome. But I made a commitment when I started this channel, and I don't want to feel like I'm leaving anybody hanging, or anybody that has supported me. I'm so thankful for it. So what I'm probably going to do going forward, because the season is going to go till June, so unfortunately I just know that I'm going to be tapped out on time. But I can guarantee you I can give you guys 3 minutes a week. I just figure maybe I'll start doing like just the shorts, like a 1-minute video, just going through my collection. And because I had shot a video, the second part of that, and you could see when I shot it, it was definitely like after a full day of work and then a full practice, and I just looked exhausted. I kept messing everything up, and I just really didn't feel good about uploading it. So what I'm going to do is I'll just start doing just a 1-minute short here and there as I have time, even if I'm on a break at work or something like that, just so I can show you guys my collection. And then that way, we can kind of get back to some kind of consistency, some kind of normalcy. And I promise you that once the season stops, we'll go back to making, the nice review videos that we normally have. The only thing new I've added, obviously you guys haven't seen my whole collection, but I did order another QSP penguin. Excuse me. I got the shredded carbon fiber one because I really like the way that looks, and I have the brass version. But now I have the shredded carbon fiber, and I really like it a lot. But while we're here, we might as well do the first knife that we're going to go through in my collection. So, or the part two, I guess we should say. So, the knife I'm going to show you guys right now, I no longer own. It no longer exists. I don't have it here. So, but I'm going to show you, kind of what it led to. So, I was on Amazon. This is shortly after getting the Spyderco, the Para 3. Oh, by the way, Aftershock, that's our team name. So, shortly after getting the Spyderco Para 3, I'd say probably within 6 months, I was looking online. I was on Amazon and I saw this knife, and from a brand that I'd heard of. Well, no, that's what it was. So I purchased a knife for my dad for Christmas, and I got him a Civivi, and I couldn't even tell you which one it was right now. I got it on Blade HQ, so I could probably go back and look. But I got him a Civivi, and before I gave it to him, because he's from California, I'm in Ohio, so he came out here. Before I wrapped it, I opened it because I wanted to see what it was about, and I loved the case that it came with, and I loved just kind of the presentation, and it was a really cool knife, and I liked that it was on bearings, and I had it backwards. I thought that Civivi was the high end and that WE was the budget brand. That was my first thought when I was looking at the brands, and obviously, if I was smart, I could have just looked at the prices. But yeah, it didn't click right then. I thought Civivi was the big brand. But then I went on and ordered a Civivi, and when I ordered the Civivi, the knife that I got, when it came, I started messing with it and checking it out, and started just doing a little more research on it after the fact, because I just looked at the knife and saw it and really kind of liked it. I thought it was cool. And then I come to find out, that the WE was the bigger brand, and I was like, oh, okay, very cool. This is a budget brand that's pretty amazing, like really great products. I would have swore it was the knife I had ordered him. I would have swore it was a high end knife. I mean, I know the price I paid for it wasn't high end, but for me at the time, it was close. It was like, I think it was like $70 or $80. So I ordered the knife, and I remember the first thought I had when the knife came in was like, man, that thing is small. I'm sure you guys probably know what I'm talking about if you haven't figured it out yet. It was all black. It had a look like a faux wood looking scale on it. It's G10, but it just kind of had like this weird cut on it. It made it kind of look like a wood material, but it wasn't. It was definitely G10 all black D2 steel and black blade. And I almost sent it back, just because I was just like, man, this thing is so small. But then I realized there's a nice finger choil on it, and it just disappeared into my hand when I held it. I had a really good purchase on it, had a lot of control, and it became my favorite knife. And then that was 2 years ago. And so I was at work. I work at Toyota, and there's this kid, Nick, at work that he runs our lot techs, and he was showing me this knife because he knew I was into knives. And as soon as I opened it, I could tell, first of all, it was dull. It did have a half serration, but the blade itself was completely dull. I mean, I could try to cut. I don't think this thing would cut butter. And but I looked at the lockup, and the lockup shot all the way over to the side. To me, that's just it feels a little unsafe to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's totally fine, but it shot all the way over, and to me, that just seems like it's begging to just snap that out of the way or do something. I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to be that responsible adult and do something cool for a kid. He's like 20 something, 24 or something like that. So I grabbed my Civivi Odium, which is what it was, and I went in the next day, and actually, wrong person. So oh, I'm tired. I gave him the CJRB Krag, my carbon fiber knife, and I'd only had that thing for like 2 weeks, but I gave him that knife, the Odium went to my coworker, Eric, another Eric. Two Erics, definitely make a wrong. He was talking to somebody else about a knife, and he was like, man, I like carrying a pocket knife, but I hate carrying a big knife. I like smaller knives. And I thought, man, like, because I like giving knives to people. I think it's kind of cool. It creates a memory, creates, just kind of, it's something to talk about, something to have. It's a kinship. It's just it's a great conversation piece. And so I brought the Odium in and gave it to him, and he was shocked, and he loved it. He thought it was really cool, and he loved how it fit in the hand. So sorry for confusing the stories there. Sounded a lot more poetic in my head. Anyways, once I started doing some research on the Odium, I found out, it was a Ferrum Forge design, and that it was actually designed after a knife that Ferrum Forge had made. And when I found out what that was, and I saw it, and I was like, man, it looks a lot sleeker. It looks I like the look of it a lot better. And it was a Mini Archbishop 3. And so as soon as I saw this, as soon as I found it, I think I sat in my cart for like a day and a half, 2 days. But I love this knife. I do prefer the grip of the Odium better than the grip of the Mini Archbishop, because the Mini Archbishop, it does come down here, whereas the Odium was kind of thick, about like this thick all the way throughout. It did feel a little bit more, what's the term that I'm looking for? A little more substantial in the hands, whereas this kind of disappears, but in a good way. It's just different. But I love this knife. And when I had the option of giving the two, I was like, well, I can give them one of the two of them. Even though I love the Odium, and I'll probably buy another Odium, I do like this a whole lot more. I wasn't a fan of the other colors that they made. And plus, this was my first Nitro V Steel knife that I ever had. And I loved it. I love how sharp it is. I love the edge that it holds. I love how small this is. In my jeans, this goes into my fifth pocket perfectly. I think this is probably one of the best fifth pocket knives there are. Now, I haven't tried the Mini Baby Banner or anything like that, but and I know that there's a couple other ones. There are some cool knives that have come out recently that are some really cool fifth pocket knives, but for me, as of right now, like, this is my favorite one. But this is the Ferrum Forge Odium, or the Ferrum Forge Mini Archbishop. I do want to try out the full size. The 3.0 I think is out now. But yeah, I really like this a lot. So yeah, so this is going to, hopefully we can start this process back up, and hopefully in the next day or 2 or 3 I can try to get another knife shot. There's also guys at work that are bringing me knives, and I've been just kind of shooting small videos or pictures with those, and maybe I can start throwing some of those up as well. One of my buddies, Joe, what's up, Joe at work, Joe Wegman, he just got I think he's either the best man or he's in the wedding party, and he got a Leatherman free, and I've always wanted to see one of those because I was considering buying one, because it's a nice multi-tool. It doesn't have too much stuff on it. I think you can customize, like you could either pick it with like a screwdriver or something else. But I really like the blade on it, and because it was definitely a good EDC blade, but it wasn't, like I'm just not into the Swiss Army knives. They're just, it's a little too basic for me, I guess you might say. But yeah, I shot a video with his, but the video quality didn't really work out well because I was doing it while I was outside, and there's a bunch of machines going off and a bunch of stuff. But I'll probably have him bring that back in and shoot that one as well. But anyways, guys, as always, I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your guys' patience, and thank you so much to everybody who has signed on recently. I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just going to post it for you guys. Hopefully you'll get a laugh out of it. You can see what happens to me when I get tired. But I thank you guys so much for your time. And I hope you guys are safe. Hope your loved ones are safe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Peace.